Scott, the team seem to be playing with a bit more confidence recently, and the results seem to indicate that. What's the reason for that? Sometimes with a squad that it can look a wee bit more fluid. Is it coaching? Is it fitness? What sort of thing affects that?
There's probably a number of reasons, but does, I think you're probably right. I think it looks a wee bit more fluid, a wee bit more positive, but I think that kind of comes in with the freshness ideas and with a new manager, a new voice and stuff. So I think you can see that all around the world when you get that new bounce for a new manager. And I mean, we're certainly benefiting from it at the minute, and it looks a bit more fluid for us. That's for sure.
Your own performance has been excellent recently, and you kind of bring something to the team I don't think anyone else does, and it's that ability to get between the boxes and make those late runs into the box. Is that something that the manager sits down and says to you, I want to see that drive and influence from you and going on beyond the striker?
Well, I think he kind of thinks that I can bring that to the team, but over the last, 3.5 seasons here, I think with the calibre of player that you've got at a club like this, you need to have something a wee bit different to be able to suit different games and different opposition. So it's something that I identified quickly when I came into the club, that if you can do that, you've probably got more chance of playing. So I've just continued to do that, and hopefully the manager likes it.
Hi Scott, just on that, the number 8 role, as you mentioned, seems to have kind of changed. Obviously, we've seen Glenn Kamara getting beyond last night and cutting the ball back for Scott Wright. How much are you enjoying that, and do you feel that you're then able to play your best football when you've got a bit more licence in the final third?
Yeah, definitely. I think players like myself that like to get a bit, and Joe Rebo like to get a wee bit more forward. It all comes for the solidarity behind you. If you've got a back four, whether you're playing one sitter or two sitters, it allows you to get a wee bit more forward. So as much as we are kind of getting forward, and Glenn last night doing brilliant for the goal, it all comes for the confidence, knowing that if it breaks down, we've got people at the halfway line that they can get it back, and we can hurt teams in different areas.
And the manager spoke last week about the willingness of players and the importance of team meetings and getting those new ideas across, and the team looking really impressive so early into his reign. Can you just give us some insight from your perspective as to how it's been working with the new manager? And the team do look very impressive very quickly. That certainly seems notable from the outside.
Definitely, I think it's kind of replicated in performances so far how much we are enjoying his new reign. I think I don't think much has changed in terms of he's kept the same, maybe tweaking different personnel at different times. But due to the volume of games that we've got, the training pitch, we can't do much on there with a full 25 squad because of the players and your recovery. So team meetings has probably been our training, trying to get recovered and really taking on what it is. So we're certainly seeing the benefits so far.
Scott, I just want to go back to something you said about the freshness from the manager, and obviously hindsight is a wonderful thing, but do you feel that maybe that was exactly what was needed to get to that next level and maybe even galvanise the team to see what we're seeing now?
Personally, I think that was coming anyway. I think when you play with a club like this, I mean, people love to talk, so whether you're playing well and grinding out results, whether you're not getting results but you're playing well, people love to talk about it. It gets more examined and more scrutinised, and rightly so, but I think it was coming. But the manager wanted a new challenge down south, and you can see that comparison down there where Aston Villa couldn't really buy a win for the first 5 months of the season. They've won 3 out of 4 now, so they're certainly benefiting for that freshness. And obviously a great manager down there, Dean Smith, setting aside, and our previous gaffer going in there. So we've got the same bounce up here. So I think the freshness and ideas, it happens all around the world, and particularly in European football, you get that freshness and a different voice, and it takes you on to the next level.
And like we've already heard from you already, we're seeing the benefits of that in your team, but in terms of last night, was part of that ambition as a group as well to keep that going for the manager, that unbeaten start that he's now got in the 5 games?
Of course, yeah, it's for everybody. It's for everybody associated with the club. We believe that as a team and a club we can go to Leon and win the game. So we're disappointed not doing that last night, albeit we were already through the both of us. But as games that's where the mentality is being a Rangers player, where you feel as if you can go to anywhere, any arena, and take the result. So that's always the same, and whoever's the manager, I don't think that will ever change.
Hey Scott, the draw for the Europa League gets made on Monday. You could face some like Leipzig, Dortmund, Barcelona. Would you fancy one of the big hitters?
Of course. Of course, that's what you're in football
What did you
for.
say there? Sorry, I couldn't hear that. Sorry.
Oh, you heard that. I says, of course. That's what you're in football for, to play at the best arenas against the best teams to test yourself. So the teams have dropped in there, some calibre of clubs in that competition. So whoever will come, we know it's going to be a difficult game. So we'll certainly look forward to the draw.
Do you also think it'll be a difficult game for the opposition that will face you? I mean, do you think Rangers can hold their own against who any of you face? Obviously, it's teams that are dropping out of the Champions League.
Without a doubt, I think we're a team that people will look at. The way we play, mentality, stature of the club. I don't think people take us lightly in this competition. And bearing what we've done for the last 3 seasons, getting into the group stages and advancing, it's certainly what we want to do again.
You've got eight games in December, and you've said that the boss hasn't really asked you to change how you play or where you play too much. But in terms of those 8 games in December, are you expecting to be spelled to be in the team, out the team, on the bench?
I think you think that with the calibre of player, the best you can do is make sure you're involved in the picture. But it's that calibre of player, you've got people trying to take your shirt every game, and that's what breeds confidence and that's what breeds success. So whenever you're called upon, you do your best to try and grab that shirt. If he thinks it isn't a game for you, you take your medicine, sit down and help the team in a different way.
In terms of your own future, obviously people are always asking about players' contracts, and Rangers seem to be doing their business very quietly in the background these days. Is that something that you've had much of a thought about, or is it just going to take its own natural course?
Probably its own natural course, to be honest. I'm happy here. Everybody knows I'm happy here. As it goes on into the May, June, July time, when you're out of contract, that's 5-6 months down the line. Right now, I'm fully focused on getting in the team, staying in the team, helping the team as much as possible, and as you say, it's a natural course, so I'll take it.
Scott, I've already spoken about the form in the team and the competition for places. The manager obviously did make some changes last night. Is it quite good in a way when you've got such a hectic schedule that some players are getting a bit of a rest when they can?
I think so. Yeah, I think and certainly in these games we've allowed ourselves to have a game where we could play different players in different formations and maybe try a little different things and tweaking formations. And when you think about it, these players haven't got minutes over the last 4 games. They get minutes in their leg, particularly Scott Wright last night scoring his goal, getting his confidence up, and that'll do us great going forward, particularly in this busy schedule.
And just in terms of the weekend, obviously Hearts on Sunday, a team who are also going well this season, a draw with them earlier in the season as well. What are you expecting going to Tynecastle? The
same as always, tough game, tough arena, great atmosphere. I think if you ask anybody in Scottish football, they say that this is a ground where you want to play in an away fixture where the stands so close to it. I've got mates that are Hearts fans, so I know everything about them. They've been talking a lot, so they're going great in the league. Robbie Nielsen's got them playing some great stuff, so it's shaping up for a wonderful game, and hopefully we can get the 3 points we need.